So in this video, I'm going to share the 3 tips that I give people when they come to us asking for advice on how to start their own dermatology practice. It's probably not 3 areas that you would think of, but we believe that these have been the most vital things that have caused us to not only stay alive and stay afloat in our private practice, but thrive in our private practice. Let's jump right into it. Number 1 is don't die. Everybody has these great suggestions on how to start your private practice and what's important. And so many people are focused on, how beautiful the lobby is and the look of the website and all of these different things that are very, very important. They're shopping for scrubs and they're making sure they got the right merch. And all these things are cool and they're fun. They're brainstorming the name of the practice and we thinking about this and thinking about the logo and designing business cards, and all of these things are fun and they're a part of the process, but they play zero role in whether your process will succeed or not. The number one thing that you want to always focus on, the number one philosophy, the number one guardrail, the thing that you want to obsess about all the time is not making sure that your practice thrives and makes all of this money. The number one thing you want to focus on is not dying. That's first and foremost. You want to focus on making sure your private practice stays afloat and that it can maintain its obligations, whether there are payroll obligations, lease payment obligations, or whatever the case may be. Don't die. What are some things that causes a private practice to die? It's the overs, the overspending, the overbuilding, the over leveraging, the over hiring. Watch out for the overs. These are going to be the things that are going to kill you. And they're going to be some very savvy, smart, good looking, charismatic people who are going to try to sell you the overs. This big, huge, major marketing campaign is going to cost $50,000. They're going to sell you on why you have to have this latest piece of medical technology. It's going to pay for itself. It's going to make so much money for you. The return on investment is amazing. Watch out for the overs. Those are the things that could kill you. Over leveraging, overspending, overbuilding, over hiring. Number 2, do not get caught up in the money trap. What is the money trap? The money trap is the myth that you're going to start your own private practice, and because you're going to start your own private practice, you're going to make a boatload of money. And that's going to be the reason why you start your own private practice. It's stupid to work for somebody else. Why work for somebody else? You can go and work for yourself and you can make all of this money. Why would you work for somebody else and have them make all of this money? But when you start to dig deep, what you quickly realize is more money is not going to motivate you through the tough times. At least it didn't motivate us. Because first thing that you have to consider is there are going to potentially be some times in your practice, and most likely will be times in your practice where you will make less money running your private practice than you would go working for somebody else. And if your motivation is money, you are not going to build your private practice full force in those times when you're not making money. You're going to be looking over your shoulder thinking, well, so-and-so's making X amount of dollars working for this company. Maybe I could go work for that company. And I'm sure if you're a dermatologist, you have people emailing you, promising you the moon and the stars in regards to the next career move. And so if you're motivated by money, you're always going to be a little hesitant during those rocky times in your private practice. Abraham Maslow talks about this. He says that in the hierarchy of needs, the highest level of motivation is self-actualization. And so what we found is that if you can get up every day and you're motivated not simply by money, but you're motivated by a certain philosophy that you want to live out, meaning you believe that medicine should be a certain way, and you get up every day living that belief system. You believe that employees should be treated a certain way, and you get up every day living that belief system. You believe that you still have more ability inside of you and you want to test your limits to see how good you can be, what you can do. And you get up every day motivated by that. It has to be something bigger than money that drives you, because money is not a need that you can't satisfy elsewhere as a dermatologist. Money is not a problem. You can find money in different ways with different jobs. But if it's something deeper than money, if it's a passion, if it's the autonomy, another thing that we found is that from a motivating factor for us, lifestyle is greater than income. And what does that mean? That means that we love the fact that we can decide where we work, whom we work with, how we work, what we do, when we do it. We love the fact that we have that level of autonomy. Some people may choose higher income over autonomy. And that's probably a person who entrepreneurship, starting their own private practice, is not for them. If you're more motivated by how you do your work than how much you get paid for it, if you're more motivated by deciding your day and what services you're going to provide or whom you're going to provide it with, and having the opportunity to take time off when you need to take time off, travel when you want to travel, work the hours that fit you in your lifestyle. If those things are more important to you than just straight income, then you're going to have an extra level of motivation than a person who is just a gun for hire. It's the old adage that missionaries oftentimes are more successful than mercenaries. And number 3 is leadership. What we found is that the lower your level of leadership, the higher your level of stress and the more that you'll be responsible for doing personally. As your leadership level grows, your stress levels will decrease and you will have other people that you can equip who can ultimately do a lot of the tasks that you are doing better than you. Leadership is about trust, you having trust in your team and your team having trust in you. Leadership is about being able to work effectively as a team. Leadership is about being able to have the uncomfortable conversations when they're necessary, resolving conflict in a way that grows the team closer together. Not only developing professional trust within your team where they know that you're well trained as a physician, but developing personal trust with your team where they believe in you as an individual and they trust that you have their best interest at heart, that you are building something that's not just for you, but you're building something that's for them as well. And you guys are building together. To give some clarity, I'm going to give you an extreme example of leadership. If you have somebody who has zero leadership, this is going to be a doctor who's going to have to, check the patient in on their own, scribe all of the notes on their own. They're going to have 100% control. They're doing everything by themselves. They're stressed out. They're always working. Things are getting done the way they want them done because they're doing it. But their reward is they get to always do it. They get to do it forever. That would be like a 0 leadership. On a level 10 leadership, this is a doctor who has a team around them and their team is better than them at everything besides what the doctor specializes in. You want to have somebody who was way better at doing administrative work than you, who is way better at running payroll than you and doing HR stuff than you, who is way better at marketing than you, who is way better at social media stuff than you. You want to have a team of people around you who raise your game, where everybody is a star in their role. The only way to recruit those stars, to train those stars, is going to be having a high level of leadership, where you're okay delegating tasks, but you've also set a bar high enough so people know what's expected of them. One of my favorite books on this is a book by Ray Dalio called Principles. He discusses leadership in depth. He also has a bunch of videos on YouTube that break parts of the book down so you can consume it in small bite-sized chunks. He actually adds some illustration to it as well to make it even more palatable and easy to consume. And so these are the 3 key tips that we give to anybody starting their own private practice. Support for the Dermbiz show comes from EZDerm. If you're a dermatologist or part of a dermatology practice, you know how critical it is to have tools that make your workflow seamless. EZDerm is revolutionizing dermatology with its intuitive EHR solutions, designed specifically to simplify your practice operations and give you more time to focus on patient care. Their system isn't just easy to use, it's built with dermatologists in mind, making it the perfect choice for practices looking to streamline and grow. Want to learn more? Head over to EZDerm.com to see how they can help you elevate your practice to the next level. And here's a little insider tip. Tell them the Dermbiz show sent you. Also, before we jump back in, here's a quick reminder to make sure you're connected with us on all of our other social media platforms. We share other content on those platforms that's going to help you grow and build your private practice. We believe that we need more doctors in leadership positions in private practice ownership, and we believe that our content is going to help you get to where you need to go. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all of those platforms. All right, thanks for listening, and another big shout out to EZDerm. Now let's get back to the show. So these are the 3 key pieces of advice that we give anybody who's starting their own private practice. We found that these are the 3 key things that matter most in our overall success in our private practice. We know that we need to always be revisiting leadership and gaining and growing in our leadership ability. We need to always make sure that we're tapped into our why. What's getting us started? Why are we doing this? And it has to be bigger than money. It has to be about making a difference in people's lives. It has to be about living out a philosophy or a belief system. And lastly, we understand that more important than succeeding is not failing. More important than hitting this huge financial projection is not dying and making sure that we're not doing the things that can kill our practice, making sure that we're not doing things that can harm our practice. We're more concerned about self-inflicted wounds than we are about market forces or competition. We hope these 3 keys help. We believe that we need more of a grassroots effort in medicine in our country. We believe that we need more of a localized approach to medicine. More doctors living in communities where they own their own private practice, because we believe that creates better care for patients, it creates a better workplace environment, and overall, it has a positive impact on our local communities. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Dermbiz Show. We hope you found today's discussion insightful and packed with value to help you navigate the challenges of running your private practice. We'd love to hear from you. Is there a specific topic you'd like us to cover or a question you want answered? Reach out to us at dermbiz@gmail.com or drop us a message on social media. Your input helps us tailor the show to what matters most to you and your practice. Speaking of social media, don't forget to follow us on all of our platforms for updates, bonus content, and tips to keep your practice running smoothly. And of course, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Thanks for tuning in today, and we can't wait to have you join us again the next time. Until then, take care, keep thriving, and we'll see you the next time on the Dermbiz Show.